I'm kind of curious if it does get weird, right? And Nouns somehow managed to come out with a ridiculous run here on Nuke and maybe even take the map. Then, I mean, you'd be tempted to say, "Oh, wow, they took Nuke; it's going to be over." But then, wait a second, maybe it's going to change the script for the next few maps as well.
Yeah.
Maybe TeamOne will be able to get it done.
I think as strong as Nouns looked on the rest of their run, you got to expect TeamOne's going to be bringing it, and they looked in such fine form earlier. It's the perfect warm-up, stomping a team, really building up the confidence here for TeamOne. They're a team that can be a little hot and cold at times. Starting hot, always promising. Nouns and TeamOne, you're on Nuke, getting it underway. Straight in a ramp they go, straight in a ramp. They succeed. Bomb plant, all but already secured. But remember, this is actually the exact pistol round that Nouns run in the last time, and their retake was so swift, they wound up winning this cleanly. It's all about the fights here for Nouns. I'm just going to go down this time, but giving a little bit more respect. They're not quite as quick into the angles, but now the firefight's going to begin. For Nouns, not being as quick into it, they need to get these kills early. Marky will start things off well. Double door swing. That's huge from B-Wills. He gets both.
Oh, my goodness.
Merciless here. Cynic working his way in so late. Way too late. He's not here to help his team. And Cynic, very late to the party, connecting shots, but unable to close it out. So Nouns, much slower into that pistol round than when we saw last time. And that means that TeamOne going to be taking a very important hot start to Nuke.
Wow, what a play from Pesadelo. Honestly, it looked like the path forward had been carved by Nouns, but Pesadelo gets that 3K. He continues his hot streak over from that previous map and previous series, in fact, that they played against Vendetta, and he has also been their most impactful player, bar none. 1.27 impact rating and 0.74 frags per round throughout this close qualifier.
Now, that pistol round is interesting because it is the exact same pistol both teams ran in their last Nuke game, which means that neither side has done much to change up their Nuke.
No, and I mean, look, it hasn't even, it's been only 24 hours, right? I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, there's not going to be that much of a different look.
Still going to be concerning. TeamOne, I mean, they knew what to look for, right? They're like, okay, we just got down ramp with no contest. That means they're going to do this fast retake thing. Everybody be ready for a fight. Plant the bomb safe. Get two players in towards control so they can't check you double doors. Fight. So it's the micro adjustments to prep for what they know is already coming their way from Nouns.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that.
Just really would like to see a little more pressure exerted at the outer yard. Anyway, Malbs is going to take down Cynic. Yeah, pressure from TeamOne.
For sure. Pressure applied quite neatly. Molotov will slow things down. Malbs is thinking about going over the lip, but in the meantime, I mean, they're just going walkabout outside. Two players in mini. Ooh. How does Marky hit the headshot there? That's actually ridiculous. The player's looking down, and it's the back of the head. That is one of the hardest shots to hit in Counter-Strike. This round's getting interesting. CJ, the 5-7 now. Rifles could be picked up. That bomb's down lower, but this is going to be a retake for sure. They put the pressure on. They've applied it, and CJ might be here a little quicker. They heard the vent drop. Now they know. I mean, there's no secret about it. Both players have vent dropped. They know they're coming from this angle. Malbs is posted for it, but he's still got to hit the shot with the double swing. And he's going to do beautifully.
That's a nice little cleanup by Malbs. He gets the 4K, and it was a little scary. You know, Nouns on their force by almost able to pull that one back in their favor, but Malbs to the rescue as he takes down almost the entirety of the Nouns squad. So 2-0, and now Nouns are forced onto a full-on eco, or probably. Yeah, I thought they might upgrade, but yeah, it's just going to be a couple of nades spot up. That is it. Moving into round number 3. Malbs already tosses that Molotov in towards ramp. And he is just going to patiently wait here with his AK for some pushes to come through. Obviously, Nouns being a little more limited are going to try a stack, and this stack will be in ramp. Carson, nade primed, could do some damage. Oh, it misses the mark there. Carson continues to wait. I mean, TeamOne are just biding their time right now. They're being very cautious.
Expecting the lobby crunch. We got nothing to lose in this one, and we know TeamOne's a team that's very willing to sit and see if Nouns will make the first foray.
Yeah.
Showed this last night. They're uber comfortable playing with the clock. Sometimes a little too comfortable.
Yes.
They are confident. Well, you gonna go in for hut? Nobody's really here. IDK thought, did I break those windows? And yes, he did. Let's get the check. In, starting to clear this position. They're taking this space. No one is here to greet them. It's one heaven player with a USP, so this shouldn't be a problem.
You'd think it wouldn't be. TRK, he gets tickled for a little bit of damage. Who knows? Maybe Cynic's going to hit 12 headshots in a row.
I'm confident at this point that they're going to be all right. I think for Nouns, it might be about trying to keep those guns close to the site to see if they can't get them to go up in the smoke. But they don't seem to have a lot of ambition for actually going into this site itself. Or any whatsoever.
Yeah. Just waiting for exits, which they probably won't get, since TeamOne are likely going to filter out of hut.
If I had to guess, the logic was they were hoping someone would have been lurked outside and they might be able to isolate a gun and steal it in the next round, but TeamOne just rolled us a full pack and they were comfortable to play this en masse.
This is a perfect start for TeamOne, 3-0. I mean, not much to speak of in that round, right? Just the USPs didn't work, and TeamOne easily took the space. The first full buy-up is coming through for Nouns. They're going to have 3 A4s and 2 A1Ss, almost full util. They're a little bit short on B, Will, Cynic, and Carson, but that shouldn't hurt them too much because they've got all the smokes they need and all the incendiaries as well. Maybe a little light on flashbangs, but should be okay, as mentioned. Nade's going to be tossed forward by IDK. TeamOne are known to go for those quick hits on the A site. They do like the change-up pitches here on the on Nuke. Yeah, nice dink on to CJ through the smoke. A little bit of luck goes a long way.
A little bit of calculated spam, shall we say. All right, CJ on the back foot early on here. Not going to be having a great time with this one right off the rip, but he's gone secret, and he is going to see nothing if he takes the peek. There's no presence here. They're going for the late wall of smokes, and CJ could be perfectly positioned for this one. They have Molotov, so they should be able to Molotov him out of position. This is going to get interesting. Cynic's postured for an outside fight. These are the close wall of smokes as well, so this doesn't necessarily allow the mini round. There's the flashbang to set him up. Molotov's there, though. Now that's your opportunity. CJ can't test that too long. His nade, barely a tickler. And he's rumbled. We'll fall back. Surprised they haven't rotated a second player down, having seen... I guess he only did see the one, eh? That's the problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if this is just a lurker. Hasn't seen the pack just yet, so he's not comfortable calling for reinforcements, but he's going to need them in a second. He's going to need some snappy shooting, and CJ forced off by the Molotov. Now he's looking for more. Now he's looking to bring someone else in to help him out.
We still don't know how many people are here. CJ does have a crossfire set up, though. Yeah.
3 mollies have now been spent. They know this is the pack. Question is... ready for the rat hole. They are indeed. Pace is so aware and so snappy with the shooting here, John. That is perfection. And, well, Marky might be the lone survivor, but he's going to have to fight for this gun.
Yeah, and again, I mean, yes, Nouns had some presence towards the outer yard. They had someone in heaven watching, you know, to see if anyone would be crossing over, and one in secret. But again, it's very bog standard. It's nothing special coming through from Nouns in terms of their strategy here on the CT side. I really want to see a little bit more, but I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much given that they haven't had a chance to really adjust their strategies here. But even just call something crazy, right? Do something interesting. Get into the face of TeamOne, because TeamOne look way, way too comfortable at this point.
Problem is, especially in those early rounds, right? We saw Nouns maybe go for some aggression in the last matchup, some trophy pushes, things like that.
Perhaps.
And TeamOne loved to spend just the first chunk of the round waiting to punish exactly that play, leaving a player in lobby. They're very comfortable leaving one away to punish, and Nouns is aware of this at this point.
Yeah, but at the very least, I'd like to see them go for some deep control towards outer yard and, like, just at least be able to say, look, no one is here. Even if there's a wall of smoke, maybe get around it. Something. Looks like they're trying that this time. Hey, Marky's next to red box. Haven't seen that very often. Malbs goes down. There's one. Looking for the second one. No, IDK gets Marky. Cynic gets a wicked headshot onto Maluk, but Pesa trades it right back. So we're at a 3v3. Still, at least Nouns are able to get something going here. Around that they didn't invest much into.
Pesa just saw the two players slip into Squeaky, but he's got the bomb. That's the problem. So he's watching for this fight. He's ready for it. Now advantage take it back over. Pesa has been lethal right now. He's 8-0. We're in round 5. Hasn't died yet. 8 kills. Just bonkers in some of these fights. Carson, though's got a cheeky spot here in the vent. All the information. If they stall out at all. There's one. Gun now down. Time's not an issue just yet. TeamOne can take the time with this. They could even leave if they wanted to. That certainly would be risky.
Oh, Carson.
I like the attempt. Carson. Bet he was confused by that sequence of events. He just tried to pop flash himself through double by bouncing the flash, opening the door before the flash hits the door so that it goes through, and then turning 180 so he doesn't eat his own flash. That's cheeky, especially when they knew your last position. I admire. You know what? Round of applause for the chutzpah there.
At least he tried.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, man. You wanted them to get weird. That is surely weird. I love it. Love the idea.
Yeah.
Be dope if it worked.
And it didn't. It was cool. I did
won't.
like the idea as well. I don't think it's going to work very often. Maybe if you have a smoke thrown a little bit deeper near the double doors, and then you can try for it. But, I mean, he was fully exposed. There was really nowhere for him to go. Carson, burning alive in this Molotov, and he peeks right into Pesadelo's crosshair. That makes it a quick
Pesa.
5v4. Pace is on fire. Yeah, 10-0.
10-0.
I just want to mention also, Mike, that coming into this grand final here in the close qualifier, 137 frags, leading the way on his squad with a 1.10 KDR and ADR of 77.5, all team leading stats.
Was that Heaven Molly tossed by TRK?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's nasty. Love the utility usage that we're seeing out from TeamOne as well. Ah! Not loving that. Not loving that. Back to Heaven. Thought the Molly may have cleared it out a little bit too much, but Cynic stuck around, so now a man disadvantage, and this would ruin your streak, John. Pesa got the opening kill in this round.
Actually, the streak was ruined already, Mike.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Nothing good can last, and neither can Pace's life. He has finally been killed, the unkillable man. Well, Maluk wants to make this round interesting. There's only 25 seconds, so they got to accelerate whatever they're trying to do. He knows this player's still in towards garage, just going to try and flash to get around the lip. Bait out the peek back in response. Get the tag. Disgusting, but you got to go, Maluk, and he knows that damage is as important as the round, and, well, he won't get either.
Yeah, for those of you wondering what we're talking about here, Pesa hadn't lost a round, pretty much, that he had opening frags in, so making it a 5v4 essentially throughout almost the entirety of this closed qualifier. Up until the previous BO3, Mike, he did lose one round after getting entry. This will be 2 now. So he's still extremely efficient once he finds those openers, but, you know, he's not perfect. It's impossible to win every single round when you get that opening frag. Alrighty, jumping into round number 7. Nouns have finally cracked the scoreboard, but wow, yeah, look at this damage that's being taken by CJ every single time. Yeah.
Mans might need to change up his timing on that squeaky cross. Pesa, though, gets caught, and now the man who's been the absolute boogeyman of this map so far has been laid low 2 rounds in a row. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one. Don't test the op. Don't want to find out here.
Luke's just patiently holding the angle. Now he finally makes a move. TRK on his flank. Looks like they want to get the secret. This is, of course, where TeamOne definitely enjoys getting control early on in the rounds, but now it's getting a little late. 40 seconds left. They're going to have to make a move soon, and they're a man down. There we go. Into secret.
There's no one lower.
This is going to end up this is problematic for Nouns because no one is here.
Only Cynic's posture to be able to rotate in either, and he's about to be pressured from ramp. He's got the right read to get this ramp player, but it's going to be a retake setup. They're so wary of breaking this strong defense for the outer yard and the A site that, well, they're going to give up the bomb site for free. Oh, never mind. Cynic swings in at just the right moment. Bomb, he can't deny. He can get a little damage on the extra. The flank on here. Better move quickly. Malbs needs this kill, and he will
TRK.
get it. Wow. That was filthy from TRK. Malbs actually had to deal with the players coming through from Trophy, but TRK gets his, and now it's disarray. Carson, the only one who can actually do something about this round. D-Wills is completely sectioned off, and he knows it. So Carson's going to make a move. Try and burn TRK alive. Molly won't even spread. And with that, he knows he's done.
Yeah, you need to throw that molly deeper, and yeah, once it doesn't happen, he has to fall back. They need to save what they've got, and Team One isolate that round victory. IDK, Carson, playing with fire.
Uh-oh. Bye-bye.
And he's going to get burned. Oh, the movement.
Yeah.
And now he dies. Oh, what a shame. That was
IDK
some really good movement, too. Yeah. A little bit of BM. We saw it yesterday as well. Team One are really putting on a lot of BM against Nouns. Either way. Yeah.
What could have prompted such a thing?
I don't know. I wonder. Well, either way, this is an impressive showing again from Team One on Nuke. And they are going to go very fast and furious into this B ramp. IDK's already out here looking for some targets. They spotted out Carson. He's going to fall back in towards Hell. IDK eats the nade down to 46. It doesn't really matter because they have full control of B, and Nouns are really nowhere to be found. There's a couple of players, in fact 3 players coming in from Secret, but the bomb's going to be planted and they're on for the retake. They're trying to make it quick so maybe they can catch Team One off guard before they can posture for the post plant.
He's in control. He's got 1. Looking for 2. Oh, make it better. Why not?
Oh, Carson,
a massacre
what?
here, too, for Carson, but he burns alive. And Marquet left alone. It's not happening here. Malbs lays him low. 7-1 is the scoreline, and this is one the Brazilian fans will be happy to see.
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, that's a great little sequence from Carson at the very least with only the 5-7 in his hands. And it wasn't a round where Nouns invested much. So, again, a couple of frags, maybe keeping the economy a little more honest here. But Team One do have a decent amount built up for IDK, Malbs, and Maluk. Not to mention, it is Nuke. And it is a CT-sided map typically, and it's 7-1 for Team One. So, yeah. Cynic, opening frag found onto Maluk, so Op-v-Op duel finally goes the way of Nouns. Cynic, who was very good, like we talked about on Nuke yesterday against Team One, a much slower start here, as he's only got 4 frags to his name. I mean, the entire team has had a slow start, let's be honest.
Carson getting ready for the secret peak time. He's going to be everything. He's got the player in garage to potentially play off. If CJ could throw a nade or something just to distract a little focus, maybe go for a fight. Oh, not a kill. Not a kill. A dink, but not a frag. That's going to be unfortunate. Still, Carson has let him know. If they want to chase this, they're going to have a fight on their hands towards the lower site. So instead, they're going to attempt to wrap Mini, and CJ has been waiting for this play.
Why aren't they smoking this?
Oh, he's going to collect his. Now pressure on. Team One trying to hold on to their nades, and in doing so, they're just losing body after body after body. A 4v2 with these 2 players isolated. TRK now mollied off. Can't get into the site. A tag onto IDK. This round's falling apart. There's 30 seconds, but how are they going to get back in? TRK is going to have to go hero mode. Look at the fight. He's got the read on the first position. It's just the player having. But he doesn't realize there's still one on site. And that's going to be their undoing. Marky drops it with no time to spare. IDK just trying to get out of here and save.
Yeah. Keep the AK, keep the full set of util. That's definitely worth saving here, especially considering the loss bonus only 1,400 for Team One, and that will be that. Nouns do get themselves on the board, and that's actually a really good job from Carson. Yes, he doesn't get any frags, but he makes his presence known in secret, which pushes TeamOne away from that direction and towards the A site. The thing is, TeamOne had a lot of utility to work with. If you're going to make that adaptation and adjustment, at least throw a smoke for garage, which you haven't cleared out yet, to prevent the player, if he is stuck in there, from doing a ton of damage. And well, CJ did a ton of damage. He got the 2 frags, pretty much made that round unwinnable for TeamOne at that point and required a heroic effort. TRK tried, but it wasn't happening. So second round picked up. Will TeamOne isolate it once more? They still have plenty of cash, which means they've got a full-on buy-up, a Gleel in the mix, but 4 AKs around it. We haven't really seen that quick hit onto the A site yet from TeamOne either, huh?
No, not so much.
Yeah, they're
I
saving
notice
it.
a change-up pitch when it's the least expected, but knowing Nouns as they do, they're content to try and let them make the first move. And I mean, 7 rounds already found on the T side. This is one of those situations where you don't really necessarily want to mess with the formula. Smoke's gonna get thrown outside. Speaking of not messing with the formula, this is like faithful for them.
And notice they
tiniest of margins here, John. So
yeah.
He's probably got the info.
I would think so. Just going to say, notice that TeamOne favor the deeper wall of smoke, or I should say more shallow wall of smokes for secret only, and not the deeper wall of smokes between garage and Nuke.
Yeah. Generally speaking, that is the case, as we have seen. B-Wills takes one, but now the player's going to come through mini, and he's ready for that. Paranoid as he is, setting up his teammates nicely here. A 2-1-4, and TeamOne trying to do a screeching halt here. They're going to go for the vent dive. There's a player already positioned down here, though. That's Carson.
10 seconds.
Just has to drop the bomb. He's got the dub, and he's got the dub. There it is. All clean. Fortunately, then they died before the timer, but TeamOne, now might be the time for a little adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you kind of expect the CTs to eventually get their feet under them here on Nuke. Once you get into a second or third buy and you have some economy built up thanks to your loss bonus, that's when you usually start to find the rounds, even with a team that's as hot as they are on their T side, like TeamOne. So now they don't have the money to really buy up. Yes, of course, they died before time, so the $2,400 enters their bank account, but it's not really enough to do much with. So it's going to be 4 deagles. A little bit of armor bot. That's from IDK, but Cynic connects onto Malbs right off the docket.
That's a
And
serious
we'll
starter.
Yep.
You talk about the hero. Oh, all of these have been laid low. Carson looking for this last out of bullet. So IDK at least will get that one, but you get towards the site. Man's alone, and Cynic's handing out haircuts. I'm talking about the hero. Pesadelo started 10-0. He's 13-6 now.
That means he's 3-6 over the last bit. So
10-0 in the first 5 rounds. In the next 6, 3 kills, 6 deaths.
Well,
get that engine started again, Besa. I mean, you can't fault him, certainly, but I mean, he was a huge part of the 5-round early run, right?
I mean, there's no question. A lot of those rounds were against limited buy-ups as well, so. But I do agree. He's got to get going again, and I'm sure he will.
Play. Here's that faster play. The flashes are good, but they don't expect B-Wills, despite the fact that he's been on the hut at the beginning of every round. They don't read it. They've got the bomb all the way down towards lower, and ramp is lost. Here's the problem for Nouns. They realize, oh no, it's a lower play. It was a vent dive, and we have no ramp control.
Yeah, that's the problem with Nuke, right? It's just sometimes you try to do something a little bit different. You try to adapt based on the way their team is playing, but then you leave glaring holes in your defense that are so quickly exploited. You don't really have enough time to recover. And you see here, they're not really even challenging much. No. They're just content to save.
No, and that's a great round to slip through for TeamOne. Economy's not so untouchable that they can just take that retake in stride. You get on towards 8. You've already won the half. You've already had a great performance here. Now you just keep that pressure on in a big way for Nouns. They take a mulligan in this, though, John. They recognize they were out of position. They were caught with their pants down. They say, all right, you get that one. Easy.
It's honestly the better call because yeah, they were completely out of position. 3 players, in fact, one could have fought it, but why? Not to mention, look, the economy, it's really good now for Nouns. So even if they should lose here, they'll be able to have a full-on buy-up in the following round. So, you know, at least you set yourselves up to be in a better position because in that round, there was really nothing that could have saved them or brought them back into it. Cynic, with the AWP, is playing very close up to Mini, and IDK lines up that spam and connects onto B-Wills to get him down to 63. TeamOne do like to take their time, as you were mentioning before, Mike, here in this lobby. And they also love to go for those wall bangs. Cynic, he's getting adventurous.
He is, and he's getting so much information. For once, there's nobody in lobby. And as they set up this wall of smokes, if they then trying to send a lurker back in, they might not find this as hospitable as it has been previously. This is going to get weird. They're not sending the lurker back, but the fast flanks available. They're all going outside. There's no one down towards Secret, so this is kind of the clear path for TeamOne. Marky's going to make his way down to defend, and now the lobby players try and crunch through. This could get real weird. No, instead, they're going to massively reinforce lower, knowing that they've got this control. But the problem is a mini smoke's just been thrown, and the garage player is going to communicate this. So now CJ has to do a ton to push them back in towards Secret, which he has done. Marky, though, got drawn off, and they abandoned the initial setup. So now Carson is left on his lonesome to defend lower. The vent player coming in late. Cynic gets one, drops the bomb, confirms it.
25 seconds.
About dive in again, and yeah, you're right. The time pressure is going to get to them. They have to come out on the site. Carson finds the first. Might take the next as well, and with that, that's the round.
Wow, Carson has been a great B anchor over the last few rounds. 12 frags picked up, not rounds, for Carson. And that will give them the 5th round victory and cut the lead to 3. That was just a great performance from Carson. And Nouns as a whole, right? You mentioned CJ kind of forcing TeamOne back towards Secret. And again, I mean, I noticed that TeamOne finally opted for the deeper wall of smokes between Big Garage and Mini, which is good, you know, because if you do want to wrap in towards Mini and flash out towards it, it helps because Garage can't see it. Anyway, let's get into the action. It's 3 frags immediately for Nouns. Here's that quick pop into A, and the round is already over. TeamOne unsuccessful on a round where they just had pistols, Mike.
Wow. That's a quickie. That's Nouns' preferred pace of play from what we've seen so far. But what a recovery this has been in a half. They were looking completely out of this. And now we've got a game on our hands. Whichever way this last round splits, this is going to be a real contest. And I think for TeamOne, they were kind of in cruise control mode, right? Running very similar plays with that wall of smoke outside. And Nouns, enough of a focus adjustment towards lower to slow them down. Here we get that fast play. B-Wills into the corner, into the boxes. He's got one for one. But no, never mind. B-Wills takes a second. And here he's got support as well. They have rebuffed this push in. Nouns looking good for a 7th. TeamOne left scrambling.
Yeah, Pesa and Maluk are going to try and regroup here and potentially go for a ramp take. And yeah, they don't even have anyone to fight. It's wide open. There is Carson. We've seen how good he's been on this B site. And he's going to have a chance to fight Maluk very shortly. And he wins that fight. Good. Loses the next one. So Pesa could get a bomb plant here at the very least. Winning the round is another story.
That it is. Still at risk. Huge.
Oh, this is a good play.
This gives him the pressure relief valve. He's actually going to peek back in. That isolates the fight. Now he rotates, knowing that it's going to pull the second player back in. This is masterful from Pesadelo. This is that pace that skyrocketed them up in the first half, and he is going to go for that A plant. B-Wills is so out of position to rotate into this that Pace is going to be able to drop this bomb and then potentially actually reposition. No, he just went forward to pull him up the vent. Pesadelo, you wizard, you maestro. He sends us to the half.
Hey, freedom is ours. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Freedom is ours. You know, fist up, we got power. Woo. Hey, say it again, man. Freedom is ours. Fist up in the air. Who got the power? You know. Hey, say it again. Freedom is ours. We got the power. We gonna make it this thing ours.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Going to get underway with the second half of Counter-Strike. Oh my goodness. All right, tapping away they go, and that's a massacre for Malbs. Exactly the way TeamOne wants to get going here after Pace's heroic clutch. Just one man surviving. Carson tried to fly through the squeaky door, and oh, barrel of Malbs they went. Gets the bomb, he gets away, he gets a kill. Carson asking some questions here, just wants to try and get this bomb down, but he wanted to fake the rotation in towards ramp. This is a bit of bait. He's got a minute 20 to play with. There is all the time in the world. It's the one asset he has. And he is hot right now. 18 and 8. Got in this fight. Nothing! TRK! Perfect timing on the peak. And a pistol secured.
Wow. I mean, just a great effort from Carson, but Malbs at the beginning, what a thunderous way to kick off this second half of action with a 3K insta headshots from the USP on every single frag, and double digits already found for TeamOne. Now, if you'll recall yesterday, I believe it was a 7-8 finish in favor of TeamOne at the half, but once TeamOne got onto their CT side, they really started to run away with it. So let's hope, at least for Nouns' sake, that won't be the case again today. CJ gonna get tagged down to 38 here. Just the pistols for Nouns. In fact, 3 of them only on Glocks. The Deagle upgrade for CJ, and Carson with a P250. Jason Maluk lined up here. And I mean, Nouns are trying to go for a slower pace of play, but there's Pesa catching off Cynic. The bomb gets dropped, but it's behind the smoke, so it will be recoverable, but look at the damage being taken by Nouns. Yes, they get down into secret, but it's going to be tough to get a bomb plant with 2 players waiting there.
Money made for IDK, and that one's done so.
Yeah.
2 kills in for the SMG. TeamOne up to 11. And now in this first gun round, you take on a little extra importance than we would normally expect just because of what we've seen previously last night from Nouns on this map. They are rough around the edges, to say the least. And the fact that they're down 11-6. Gotta get her done now.
We haven't seen much on the T side from Nouns on any map with Nuke.
No. We have not. Lobby presence. Player outside, up on top of the Schmallow. Gonna take the duel. CJ actually was down below it. And he does find the pick. So Pesadelo wanted to get really aggressive off the rip. And CJ has punished that at the very least. A nice start for Nouns. Good omen.
It's funny. That's further than any Nouns player stepped towards outer yard throughout the entirety of the CT side. It's interesting that TeamOne are the ones to do it. Oh, Carson hits the headshot onto Malbs. All of a sudden, this is very much tilting in favor of Nouns. Maybe Maluk can catch him off guard here if he slips past into secret, or excuse me, into Squeaky behind the smoke, and he will. But we'll see if Nouns clear it.
But with that deep smoke, they have to be aware of the possibility. Presumably, TRK tries to play off of TRK, but this focus from TRK now opens up the outer yard, and you see 2 players moving into that space. So it seems like they're going to try and crunch B instead. Maluk sees nothing. How does he read this? Well, now IDK has figured it out, but he's figured it out by slamming his face into a bullet. That means this one could be done. It could actually just be the save for the remaining 2 players. They've secured their exit route, and TRK is making sure of that fact. It is going to be a 7th round for Nouns. They get a chance to show us something here on their T side.
Yeah, and in round number 3, right? Yesterday, it was a lot longer that it took for them to actually activate on their T side. That's a really good job finding the openers by Carson and CJ. Maluk and TRK just going to save what they've got.
This is actually exactly when they won a round on their T side last night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
oh, my mistake.
3. Problem is, they only got...
My mistake.
They only got 5 on their CT side last time around. This time, 6. So, hey, it's all improved all around the board.
Fair enough.
So 5 players surviving as well here for Nouns. A nice kick in the pants. Nice shot in the arm, if you will. A bit more confidence perhaps flowing here, and a very limited buy for TeamOne, even with those 2 saved rifles, means that this is a prime opportunity to break this economy and really start to close the gap.
Will they do so is another question. 2 A1Ss in the A4 available for TeamOne. Yeah, they also have an MP9 from us. Serviceable guns. CJ tossing an 8 on forward. A little bit of utility thrown by Nouns towards the outer yard. They don't have the wall of smokes just yet, but they are favoring a lot of Molotovs there on towards A. Don't really do any damage, and TeamOne continue to wait here for first contact.
Slower pace to this round for Nouns.
Oh, yeah.
They're chilling. Expecting maybe some sort of cheekiness coming through from TeamOne, but both sides have been content to sit. And sit they have. We're now below the minute mark, so Nouns better start to make their move. Deep smoke into the garage. One tossed as well. He's just going to try and play ahead of this. He's seen that they're very late into it. If they are going to go, there's a big old gap. That 3rd smoke comes in. So, all right, deep wall of smokes. Can get that control in towards garage. I want to go for the mini wrap. Ace is watching for this exact play. There's no flashbang for it. CJ's dead, man. CJ's dead, man. There it is. expecting the player to be deeper in, but Pesa playing the off angle on it. He's not going to realize someone got out to Garage, though, and Cynic going to get that trade. 18 seconds. There's no time to spare. They need the kills right here and now. And Malbs back of the cooling tower. He's got support from on high. He's trying to stall this out. He's dropped the bomb. That could be it. That should be it, frankly. And it is going to be the round.
Oh, geez. Nouns. I don't remember the last time I saw them run out of time on the clock on the T side, but they did, pretty much. I mean, only 20 seconds left. They finally decided to go for their execute, and TeamOne shut them down at critical juncture after critical juncture. malbs in particular, towards the cooling towers, gets that one frag that really denies Nouns any chance of planting the bomb. And they had a nice setup anyway. Even if malbs goes down, Nuke was right there to help support. And TeamOne are right back on the board here with a 12th. That said, Nouns will be able to buy up once more. It's going to be the 4 AKs and the Galil. And the money is tough for TeamOne because they did lose a few bodies in that previous round. So still an important one for potentially Nouns to get back into this match. Not out of reach just yet. There is the mini smoke that's been thrown and the garage smoke, so a deep wall of smokes for Nouns as they move their way towards the outer yard. They see the bullets coming from garage, but they're wary of secret. They should be anyway, and there you go. Hard clear from Nuke, and CJ drops Pesa. Another excellent start for Nouns.
IDK, the only one who can say anything about this lower site. If he goes down, it's done. It's a save. Just an SMG. Just an SMG. Tucked in the decon. TRK is going to go in to support him, but in the meantime, CJ's worked his way around. So if now just want to hit the pause button here and let CJ work, he gains so much control. That drops the bomb. Information confirmed. How do they react to this? How do they respond? They still expect the player to have worked his way around. Quick response. But IDK opening the decon door. Oh, he would have Cynic dead to rights, but he doesn't strike. He can't know what we know. So he's waiting for an audio cue and he's getting nothing.
I think he's also waiting for help.
malbs collects that kill, dropping down the vent. Now the player's open, but Marky reacts to that. Bomb ticking away. malbs trying to be the hero here. Lone rifle, but he's so far in that he's kind of already committed, and he knows that. He's just been spotted. I don't even think he knows he's been spotted, but he has. So if he comes through this window, imagine he's a dead man. Everybody waiting to swing, waiting for that first contact to just strike. malbs not liking what he's seeing, or rather what he's not seeing. Try and beat a tactical retreat. Or die. Okay.
That was...
Wanted one more kill. Gotta get those numbers.
I felt like that was a last-second decision. Like, I'm going to leave. Maybe I'll just go back and try and see if I can get someone or keep them on the site so that they doubt a bomb. But, yeah, it doesn't happen. So, TeamOne lose every single gun of that round and will likely be on an eco here, 12-8. And as I mentioned, okay, they're going to go for the forest spike because it's double eco. Anyway, a double save. But Nouns, they win that critical round. They keep TeamOne's economy honest, and now, well, TeamOne's in a bit of a tough spot. This could very quickly be 12-10 in favor of Nouns, and they're trying to make it quick. Here we go, walking into the site. Maluk gets one and a second. TRK finds a third. 2v2. It's getting scary here. TRK ducks and covers, goes down to 23 HP. Pesa tosses a flash to get through that smoke. Carson spots him out and takes care of business. Only TRK left. He will be mollied out. And that is hopefully, for Nouns' sake, a round, but an expensive one.
Very much so. This is already better than we got from Nouns last time around. Building in now. TeamOne has to be getting nervous. Another situation where money's what they're trying to get recovered, and it's going to take another round to do so. Shouldn't have much to show us in this one. Nouns can get double digits on the board, and I mean, we know how this team can be if they get going. They're a boulder rolling downhill. You don't want to be standing in their way. So for TeamOne, gotta be a little bit of tension creeping in. Knowing how the series went last time, knowing how important Nuke is to their chances of making the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas. Not going to be able to do anything about it this round, most likely. We'll see what they try, but next gun round, going to be a lot hanging in the balance here, John.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure they're going to stack A here, and for the most part, yes, that's what's happening. Maluk. tapping away. Nouns realizing that the stack is on, so, well, they might push into it. I don't know. They're likely going to rotate around towards B ramp. They do, and the bodies are falling. The expected result is here. malbs at least gets one before going down, and Pesa finds one as well, so that's an upgrade to, well, only a Mac 10. It's not exactly great.
Wow, when Pesa clutches with this inked up already.
Stop it.
Absolutely insane. He's gonna drop down to lower. He's like, all right, Mark, he's not close enough. I don't have to worry about him. I don't even have to think about it. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have armor. God, the legends that will be told, the stories of this clutch.
Okay.
He's running out of time. I mean, jeez, Louise, how's he gonna do it, John?
I think he's not.
They're in the door. They're just gonna leave, and he's just gonna defuse. And well, the dream is dead. The legends will not be told of this day, John.
I think the dream was dead before it started, Mike. Pesa down for the count, and Nouns double digits on Nuke for the first time in 3 affairs here on this map throughout this close qualifier. This one being the 3rd. Wow. That is actually a pretty promising sign, and look at this. TeamOne's economy isn't exactly great. They have to settle for a couple FAMASs. This is weird. This is really dangerous for them.
It's quite meh. A lot of the utilities already been bled out. They don't have any more Molotovs. No more choke point close up other than smokes, and ideal situation for now. It's only 20 seconds off the round, right? And you've already bled out so much of the CT utility. You can tell they're starting to get tense. They're shuffling smokes to make sure they're in the right position. These outer smokes are going to start to come in. There's a player secret, TRK. Try and go huge here. Molotov to force him away from the peak, and that's just to distract for as long as possible because they're passing in lobby.
Jeez. They're really blowing all their utility, aren't they, TeamOne? Look, only 2 smokes and a flash left now. They continue.
Just the smoke.
I mean, before the minute mark, just the smoke.
Yeah, they're panicked, though. They've seen these forays in towards site. Now they've lost ramp control. Maluk, the first casualty down. Now they've got nothing for a retake. If that happens, it's just a save. It might already be a save.
Oh, they have 1 player at least down here.
This is brutal. Oh, I don't think they're going to like this look. They're massing for it, but it's going to be really rough to get through these doors. Bomb's down. It's ticking away now. There was nothing they could do to deny that.
No, they're committed now.
No, they aren't. No, they're out of there. They're out of there.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's the right decision for sure.
Yeah, no way to get through those doors, John. As soon as you open them, you were going to be dead.
I mean, yeah, no util, no flashbangs, no smokes, nothing. You're going out dry. And that's just a bad situation, not to mention the pressure's on with the bomb being planted and still 5 players left to be taken down. So yeah, this is the correct call for TeamOne because they didn't really have any money next round anyway.
That's huge.
No, that's one of the biggest guns in the round.
Every gun that gets taken out is massive right now. Mark is going to be the next to try and strike. Won't find it.
malbs.
Ah, can he get the AK? No, he can't get the AK. He gets the kill.
No.
That extra $300 could actually make a difference because he's got to drop somebody.
Yes.
But this is a really tough spot for TeamOne.
Losing that A1S hurts so much. And you see Maluk, he's just settling for the scout here.
Malbs dropped the scout. Malbs dropped the scout.
Yes. So I think they want to keep their economy healthy, right? About the 2K mark while still being relatively lethal, right?
Relative is a term for it, for sure.
It's a good call. Like, they still have enough firepower to dole out some damage, and with the full loss bonus coming through the next round, they will have a full-on buy-up regardless in the next one. So I think it's a good decision. It still pans out okay, but I think they'd be much happier to have that A1S instead of the scout.
You're absolutely right. They've had a timeout. Peacemaker's been able to have his say. This is such an important round now. I mean, yes, you are going to have the buy in the next, but this is not where TeamOne expected to be. Nuke was such a cakewalk last time. Even in the other, I mean, looking at the other games that Nouns have played on Nuke, they should have been expecting it to be a simple business, but that's always the risk of playing a map 2 times in such a tight window. Feel starts to come in. The expectations start to be fulfilled. You don't want to change things when they're working. Mace has got a cap in this. Mace has got a cap.
You didn't see him?
I think he's seen just a little bit, but not quick enough to pull the trigger. Now he's going to do it. Now he's going to do it, but he sold himself out. He's a dead man. didn't find the headshot he was looking for. So now controlling towards the big garage. Outside's been completely lost. The scout's not in position to fight this. Where is Maluk? He's on the site proper with the scout. Wanted the squeaky door peek. They're going to fight and boost him up late. That's cheeky. But is he ready for heaven? He should be. He's making a lot of noise for this. A little late into this. Don't fancy his chances here. And now he's been put on notice.
55 seconds left. TeamOne have to be careful. Yeah. That heaven smoke. I mean, it'll hold off Nouns for... Oh, did
Smoke
it miss?
missed.
Yeah,
it fell down the ladder. It fell down the ladder. Oh, no. How has Marky gone down to 1 HP? Where did that happen?
I don't know.
Cynic's still going to be able to get a kill. Marky's here on top. That was his fight from Secret. They're swinging. They're swinging. This is desperation. This smells like desperation, and it is a heady cologne. TRK just needs to save this gun. 20 seconds to go. They've never seen TRK, so the hunt's not going to be easy for Nouns, but this isn't happening for him.
Missing that heaven smoke causes such a domino effect, right? Because they're unable to stop Nouns from really having any visibility into the site, and Nouns can just walk out, and then they need to try and reinforce, and the closest path to do so is getting up through Secret. Of course, they have to get past that onslaught of players that are still waiting and guarding towards the outer yard and looking at Secret. So it's just, yeah, that's just a bad situation for TeamOne across the board. The misutility hurts, and everything else is just, yeah. Anyway, like I said, they will have a buy up next round anyway, but 12-12. TeamOne only getting 3 rounds so far here in this second half, whereas Nouns have gotten 6. Jeez. They really read TeamOne well there too, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly did. This is the first timeout for TeamOne? I thought they just used it.
No.
That was a Nouns timeout. I've been misled by myself. Not paying attention, John.
That's okay.
My greatest weakness. My own brain. Well, all right. Heck of a time to use the timeout, TeamOne. This is a biggie. You got the all back out on Maluk. Love to see what they're going to do with him. Went for the squeaky door peek last time with the scout, and they wound up massively out of position to deal with the outside pressure. So do they focus him in outside? It's mostly been Pesadelo left to fight outside, and that's usually how they like to play, with the all focusing in towards A or ramp.
Yeah.
Seems like that's going to be the case again here. Pesadelo on his lonesome outside. And smokes it quick. He's under pressure right off the rip. Even if they're not moving behind it, he's got to be aware of the possibility. And Nouns are applying a ton of this heat early on. All the utilities stealing out. Fast A play. Fast A, they're out. They're out on the site. That's a big kill to find. The Mustang player answers it, and the op's still up. This one hasn't gone to plan, hasn't gone to effect. Oh, it's all falling apart.
Oh.
Carson gets one more. He doesn't have the bomb.
The nade's good.
That nade is disgusting. He's got a molly. If he realizes they're both down, this molly could actually ruin them all. The molly's on. The flashbang's so good, though, it allows them to fight out. Can't capitalize, but the molly burns one. It's out of the clutch. And Carson's got it! Played to perfection.
What a clutch. Carson one-upping Pesa's clutch in that previous half. This time, I would argue even more impressive, right? Because he's in a tough position. All 3 players are ready to take him down, know exactly where he is. The nade toss was chef's kiss, man. Oh, and then afterwards, the Molotov afterwards, I mean, wow, he manages to get one with that because they stepped too far. They dipped their toes in the Molotov, didn't even realize it was there.
Let's get inside the mind of a TeamOne right now. They're flying in towards lobby. Marky's been taken down. That's an extra gun upgrade. There's no one to do this. They're going to respond by immediately moving down Secret, but this actually sets up TeamOne nicely. But let's get inside their mentality.
Yes.
Panic. Because this was supposed to be their map. This is supposed to be the sure thing in the best of 3. This was supposed to be your comfort spot, and Nouns have just pulled in the lead. Your economy is a disaster, and you're looking at the prospect of your map pick being snatched away in a series where you got battered on the next 2. Panic. So there's a twist in their stomach. There's a turn in that. It's all about how they handle this pressure from here on out. If they can get this money stable, they should being the operative word, still be the more comfortable team here on Nuke. They're looking very rattled. And Nouns are setting the pace beautifully. And that last round, even though it came down to a clutch and it was not a successful round, it was the tempo breaker. It was the fast A play that we hadn't really seen from Nouns previously that changes the way TeamOne have to play in the rounds. Swing from heaven, I like the idea. Pesa, he's not covered off by the Molotov, though, and so he gets himself a frag.
But they give up the site control
They
and the
do.
plant.
Still worth it, though. If they can play the numbers on the retake, the big question is the garage player. Cynic's wandering out. Oh, no, Cynic wanted to get close enough to be able to deploy his utility. B-Wills trying to be the hero here. He has been, but it's just not enough. Cynic going down. If he'd held that position this round, it looks entirely different. As it is, a blessing for TeamOne.
That timely aggression there from TeamOne in towards lobby, where they found themselves one, and then afterwards, just, yeah, TeamOne close to falling apart there, despite a very significant man advantage. B-Wills, if he gets that third, the round is done. I think they have it. But after B-Wills goes down, CJ's really exposed at Mustang. You know, he does get that frag, but there's nowhere to go, right? Do you drop down and die, literally, or you just keep fighting? There's no choice. You have to keep fighting, and there were just too many bodies and not enough bullets. So, timeout going to be called by Nouns to talk things over. Now, their money is in a fantastic situation, so they have a full-on buy-up no matter what.
And they recognize that they haven't lost the pressure on TeamOne just yet.
Right.
Only 2 players survived there. Economy is still under threat. Far from out of the woods here for TeamOne, but what do you want to change up? Again, this is not a map Nouns are terribly comfortable on, so using these timeouts to actually figure out the individual plays, this is where maybe they're under pressure, right? Finding that next step. You had something that was working. TeamOne have solved it a little bit. The pace of your plays have been shut down. The outside plays didn't necessarily work out. I am going to say it again, though. That last round, they actually did have the right setup. Cynic just doubted it and wanted to get close enough. Didn't realize players were coming up secret. If they stuck to their guns, that's a very hard setup for TeamOne to crack.
Yep. Cynic just had to be a little more patient, not pull out the util, keep his crosshair and his gun out.
As it is. Plenty of chance to break this TeamOne side. Pesa getting aggressive around the smoke. So bold in this outside hole. He's caught a player with utility in hand, but can he get away? That's the big question, and the answer is firmly no. A 1-for-1 exchange there, really not worth it. But Maluk collecting over the smoke makes it so much better. They've got TRK in position here. He's dropping smoke. He's giving away the element of surprise, but that's because he wants to control this angle. What a peek from CJ. So lethal. The flashbang here is deadly, and they overwhelm. They recognize the positions that TeamOne are playing from, and they just threaten it. And look at this. The save has already realistically been called. TeamOne are giving this up. They're giving up 14 rounds to Nouns. They are punting on this.
This is Nouns Esports Counter-Strike right here, Mike. This is what they're known for. Overloading, getting in your face, and giving you zero time to think, right? Especially, like, an exclamation point on that in the way they played out of secret and in towards the B site. The flashbangs came in, just nothing that could even be seen by the player for TeamOne, and just completely blindsided. Also, CJ, the peek into vent, unbelievable stuff.
Just the pace, the pressure.
It's
they push
crazy.
You under.
Yeah.
And Maluk has been completely flummoxed this game. It's 5 He's got nothing done.
That is very surprising. I didn't even realize that until you pointed it out.
I'm amazed they haven't put this op outside at all. It's always been Pesa, and Pesa's taking these really risky fights where if they have numbers, he's just a dead man.
It's not that Pesa hasn't been delivering. I mean, he has been.
He gets the one,
but
it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Carson, on the other side, focusing on the positives here for a moment, having a monstrous game, 28-15, 100 ADR, over 100 ADR in the second half. Really been a bit of a monster for them. They've used him to open up rounds. He's been a site anchor for them in the first half and towards lower. He's been a huge piece in the post plants for them, provided he survives to them. He has had a ripper of a game.
Yeah, Carson has been unbelievable. Not only on the T side, right? On the CT side as well when he was anchoring down B. Like, he was able to shut down TeamOne at critical junctures to help at least get those 6 rounds, which are now proving to be quite a problem for TeamOne, because they would have hoped that they could have gotten it as a 10-5 score and even 11-4, but Nouns were able to hang on enough in that first half to make this more than viable, and now the pressure is on in such a huge way.
Mobs didn't quite get that boost, right? More of
No.
a carrot perched on the shoulder. Now the fast play's coming in. CJ gets a kill. Mobs down. A 2 for 2. That's fine for them. Nouns have control of the site, and they've got a little bit more. Pressure on, desperation, shots through smoke. TRK unable to get out. This bomb planted. And now the threat of the timer.
No, you have to go for this. You have to.
I don't want to play for overtime here. That Molotov might seal the deal, though. TRK can't get involved. Smoke's not in position to do so. Cynic's just held off Pesadelo. They have to back away. They have to back away, but they're still tempted. They don't even know if they can save properly. This is map point going the way of Nouns. Nuke, a map they got battered on against 2 different teams last night. Now 1 round away from them closing it out and going to a great place in this series. 1 map away from making the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas as another North American representative.
This is unbelievable. Ah, man, TeamOne let Nouns get their feet under them, and once they built that confidence, you start to see those fast-paced plays come through, and oof, man, Nouns are looking absolutely unstoppable on T side. And look at this, TeamOne, yes, they'll have a full-on buy-up, but it's 2, I can't believe I'm saying this, map points for Nouns here on Nuke. Unreal. They couldn't even crack double digits yesterday, Mike, or on, I think, most of their previous 5 here on Nuke.
Not a much better feel for the space here. Put in some time, whatever it is. There's still errors, but they're overwhelming with the numbers. This fast A hit is beautiful. They got the advantage. The bomb's going down. Desperation station now. TeamOne and TRK stuck for the moment. That nade might find him as well. It doesn't. That's at least a little bit of a blessing, but the widening gap here towards Mini, Maluk smoked off. There's nothing he can do about this. He's even taking bullet damage through it. The utility's not even allowing them into the fight. Sedelo's gotten something, but he needs so much more. You know what? Marky trying to provide himself some cover, trying to provide himself some time, but it's all about that time. They have to go now. They just don't have enough to wait this. Marky, he takes the 1, and he's going to seal the deal as well. Nouns steal away Nuke. Make good on yesterday. Yesterday, it was just a fact-finding mission. They were just learning about the map. They're just setting the trap, baiting it, laying down a little honey to attract in the bees, the flies that were at TeamOne, and my goodness, they've caught them all. That is a huge coup in this series.
I mean, honestly, I'd like to think the same thing, Mike, but being more realistic here, I think they just adapted so very well to the way TeamOne were playing defensively, and also